talking one-on-ones, yeah, she compliment my taste. Whiskey in my lemonade, cause I like the way it tastes. Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates. Order steak by the plates, and in case after case, run my race at my pace, clear the grass of the snakes.
Episode 341 of Bucko Banter. Myself, Scott Moore, Jim Stam are all here live on YouTube and on X, here to talk the Pirates taking 2-3 from the Rockies. We're going to preview the weekend series against the Phillies, aka the Poop Series, gentlemen. Bring back the Poop Series. Excited to talk about that. But let's talk about the recent homestand versus the Rockies. And I think the best way to get this kicked off, Scott, is talking about Paul Skeens, because we're at a point, and we've talked to people around the organization, and we've heard Paul talk himself. Is he getting worse over the years? Because he had a 1.96 ERA.
1.97, now 1.98.
1.98. Is this something to be concerned about?
Yeah, you know, I think you keep it in the back of your head, right? I mean, he started the season with a 67.50 ERA, right? So you could say, like, what took you so long to get to 1.98?
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, I'm comfortable saying that we're witnessing one of the best stretches from a pitcher of not just our lifetime, of all time. And we're probably watching the best pitcher ever to put on a Pirates uniform. That seems crazy to say. He's still young. He's been here a short time, but the level of dominance that he shows on the mound. I mean, 19 whiffs on 98 pitches through 8 innings on Tuesday against the Rockies. He hasn't let up a walk in 5 starts. Correct me if I'm wrong there, guys, but like that's incredible. That's incredible. He's not just in the zone and around the zone, but he's generating swing and miss. He is just the definition of dominant.
Listen, you're right, Scott. He hasn't walked anybody in like a month. It's like, and it's funny because at the beginning of the year, like he wasn't dialed in on that, right? He was.
Jim, I walked someone on Backyard Baseball last night, so
it's so. I've just run out of adjectives at this point when I watch him pitch, and I think too, it's like when he goes out there. You're expecting, it's so ridiculous to say this, but you're expecting like no runs or 1 run every 6-7 innings that he goes out there and starts. It's like you're surprised when he gives up a hit. There's usually a dinky one in there when he does. And it's like, it's just, I'm not going to worry about the long term with him. I think we all know where that's at. I'm just going to enjoy it every time he steps out on the mound, because literally he's going to run into a no-hitter at some point. He's going to. Like, I don't know that I'd say that
3 times.
Yeah, like it's going to happen. And that's a stupid thing to say about baseball, that someone's going to throw a no-hitter. It's just a matter of time with him.
You're good when your manager says after a game, we're genuinely surprised when he gives up a hit. And the question really centered around the post-game talk with Paul Skeens on when is he going to get the 9th inning? What are those conversations like? And Paul said it himself in the clubhouse. When he went back out there for the 8th, he was throwing 93, 94, probably shouldn't have gone out in the first place. But I think they're playing this well with him. Like, they're letting him eat, I think, the necessary amount that they can get out of Paul Skeens to where it may be detrimental, for his overall well-being. But them letting him eat is 7-8 innings of 1-hit baseball, no walks, and 10 strikeouts on a consistent basis. We're seeing Pedro 99 right now. That's what we're seeing. And it's
Bob
time to
Gibson,
take a
late
step back.
60s.
Yeah, take a step back and realize what you have here. The talk early in the career was the Pirates are wasting Paul Skeens. Like, he doesn't want to be in Pittsburgh. They're going to trade him. He's going to get $500 million elsewhere. And while the latter of that might be true, right now you're witnessing history, and it's in a Pirates uniform. It's something that you just marvel at when you're at the park. And I don't care if the stadium's not selling out or what the attendance is on a weekday. This is a game that it's appointment television every single time. And it's not the appointment television because we've been saying that for 2 years now, right? Every time he goes out there, it's appointment television because he's probably going to throw a perfect game or a no-hitter soon because he's almost done it the last, 3 times or 4 times. This rotation, guys, is something else right now. And Jim, we got Braxton going this week. And today we had an opener with Mason Montgomery. And then what do you have? A follower with Sisk. And then you have Carmen take the bulk role. We could talk about Paul Skeens all day, but what about Mason Montgomery and what he's been doing, Jim?
Yeah, man, he is starting to turn into a weapon to the point where, hey, I'm glad everything worked out. The opener thing, he's certainly done well when he's been asked to do that. But I wonder if there's a bigger role coming for Mr. Montgomery here very soon, because when he's not walking guys, he is as good as any lefty in baseball, maybe aside from nobody. I mean, he's that good. He's that unhittable. So I'm just curious if, like, yeah, and this is what bullpens do, right? There's kind of an evolution to them as season goes on. And I just feel like, are we ready to talk about him maybe taking on a more significant role in this bullpen on the back end of games? I think it's time to have that discussion, fellas.
I've got 2 things to state there. First, I want to talk about this video that the Pirates posted today. That what's your hot dog toppings? Because Mason's answer had me laughing so hard. He goes, "If I could choose myself, I would do onions, chili, and basically, why wouldn't you be able to choose? Come on, this is the question." Anyways, second of all, the role that he's playing in. Get to the important stuff here. I've mentioned this before with Hunter Barco and their plans for him, or at least I think their plans for him coming up. They wanted to bring the best staff up north, and they thought that maybe, just maybe, he could fill in that type of role that, heck, he could maybe turn into an Andrew Miller, right? He's a guy that could come in different parts of the game, pitch multiple innings, pitch 1 inning, pitch in all kinds of different situations, but he is one of your best arms, and he needs to be on this team, so we're going to find a role for him. I think that's Mason. I think Mason, more importantly, is a guy that not just pitching in multiple different roles, but pitching in high leverage, wherever that is. If that's in the 5th, if that's in the 7th, if that's in the 9th, I think Mason's a guy that they can lean on as Cleveland did in 15 and 16 with Andrew Miller. I love that role for him, especially since he's not been walking guys.
Yeah. The walks is what was concerning before because you knew this stuff was gross. But part of me is like, use them whenever necessary, whether it's this opener role or a high leverage situation, or if it has to be in the middle of the ball game. I just think it's somebody you could deploy at a moment's notice and get 3 strikeouts in an inning, or somebody that's just going to overpower you. I think at this point, Gregory Soto is your closer, right? I think they've made that very clear. And Dennis Santana could still be a useful high leverage reliever, or he could eat up innings in the middle. But this is what you pictured going into the season when you have guys like Gregory Soto and Mason Montgomery, and having 2 lefties, having 1 lefty in Major League Baseball that could throw 98 plus is a tough ask. But having the 2 hardest throwing lefties in all of Major League Baseball that are playing really well at this moment is great. Then it comes down to a righty reliever, right? I mean, the talk has been like, oh, do you go out and trade for like a Chapman or someone like that? You need some righties that can shut the door a little bit. Isaac has struggled a little bit as of late. I think, the book might be out a little bit. Obviously it's an invisible fastball. People are recognizing that a little bit more. I think he could still be successful in the roles that you need him to be, like i.e. a one batter inning when you got two outs and you're looking for a strikeout or a ground ball here. But they need some other arms, and they've they've gone through a couple with Bidwa made his debut the other day. Dotel, Cam Sanders has come through. And rather than rotating all this, like you need some type of consistency moving forward. And I know bullpens are fluid, but you're going to need to find a guy eventually. And this comes down to the talk that we've had the past couple of weeks, gentlemen. What do you do? Do you keep experimenting and using options up and just bouncing guys up and down? Or do you go out and make not so sexy of a move, but somebody that you know is going to be good and somebody that's going to be consistent and that's going to stick on this Major League Ball club?
I think I think they have the flexibility to do that right now in their system with how deep it is and all the Rule 5 eligible guys they have coming up this year. I think they have the flexibility to make a move early, and it doesn't have to be for a closer, right? Because that's probably not going to happen. You're not going to go get a Duran from Philly at this point, especially since Philly's coming in this weekend and they're starting to win a little bit more after they fired their manager. But I think you could go out and get a reliable middle reliever and add him to this bullpen right now. I don't think there's anything stopping them. I mean, Cleveland just went and got a catcher. I know he's off to a slow start, but I think there's moves to be had.
Yeah, and oh, and by the way, guys, do you know what teams are slugging off of Mason Montgomery this year? 286. Like, it's a single here or a walk there. That's what you're hoping to get off Mason Montgomery at this point. That's how dominant he is. Yeah, this leads us right into Jared Jones, does it not? Because maybe they're just waiting to see the domino effect of what this does when Jared comes back, which is very soon, guys, and he's looked very good. But are they just waiting and seeing how that plays out, and then Carmen and is that maybe where we're at? They're just looking to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you could be creative with Jared, and I'm not going to sit here and try to predict what they're going to do with him, but I do think that when he comes back, it takes off a lot of pressure off some of these young arms that are going to be throwing a lot this year. And I think they could use him creatively to mix and match, even go 6-man rotation, if you will. I don't know, but I think the possibilities are endless.
Yeah. I still think it's going to be let's let him go out there 3 innings or have him on an innings limit, then piggyback it with a guy like Carmen. But ultimately, that's moving Carmen back to the bullpen, right? And I think this team is a lot better when he's coming out from center field rather than the dugout every single inning, right, to start a game. So there's a lot of questions, and I think they are waiting for that domino effect, but I think they've also made it pretty clear, and just from recent comments, that he's going to be a starting pitcher, right? And I think you want that fire from a guy that hasn't thrown since 2024, and he experienced a lot of early success in his career and unfortunately went through this internal brace surgery, and now he's coming back, and he has a rare opportunity to pick back up where he left off on a winning baseball team. This is not the 25 Pirates, the 24 Pirates, where you're trying to win one game a series and call that a success. He's trying to contribute here, and I think there might be a little bit of pressure on there, but the staff that they have is going to ease that a little bit if utilized the right way. So I agree with you, Scott. I think there's a lot of options, but I think maybe a 6-man rotation helps out a lot, and you can get creative maybe with a bullpen game here or there to give these young guys like Bubba and Braxton a break, because the way things are going right now, you're going to need them down the stretch. And it's not going to be a situation where you just shut them down to shut them down. You're going to have to use your guys one way or another. So there's going to be a weird balance of how do we limit innings here and preserve arms, but also trot out the best possible lineup and the best rotation on any given day.
It's not just Bubba, Braxton, and yes, obviously the young arms we want to protect, but let's talk about our vet, Mitch Keller, who's notoriously fallen off in the second half past couple seasons. That benefits him as well.
You can look at every guy on the staff and say it can help in one way or the other. Even Paul, as much as of a workhorse as he is, hey, it's okay to give everybody a breather now and then. Mitch has certainly struggled in the second half, and of seasons. So the more we talk about it, the 6-man rotation sounds awfully interesting. But when you're having to piggyback some of those guys, that does put a little more pressure on your bullpen and middle relief, which has been the problem. So, yeah, interesting discussion. And we're not far off from seeing how I think you're going to see Jared Jones. What are we sitting at here? Mid-May. I think he's a couple starts away from probably being back on this team and ready to go.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
So
he looks
exciting.
good. Like you mentioned, man, he looks really good. And I'm excited to hear that walkout song the first time it hits at PNC Park. Real quick, are you guys there's been some discourse about the attendance at PNC Park real quick, and then I'll go into a little bit of an ad read here. But as gentlemen that attend a sickly amount of baseball games, are you at all concerned about that?
Well, I don't know what they're talking about. I see a full house every time I'm there. So I think
They're
it's
just
AI.
people dressed to
Maybe
seats.
I
They're
think it's
dressed to
AI.
seats.
Yeah, cones and seats.
Right.
I
don't know. I'm not.
The attendance thing to me, I honestly don't care. I don't know how else to say that. Whether it's Penn State and football attendance, whether it's Pirates attendance, I don't care. People will come when they're ready. And the Pirates, there's been some real I think people are hesitant, and that's fine. And it's okay. And I don't think it's a reflection on anything. Pittsburgh is a very unique market, and especially so with baseball and the history of this team recently. So this organization, and I say recent, I'm talking, the last 30 some years. It's, I think it'll pick up as the season goes along. If they keep playing good baseball, I just don't think it's an issue. And, people have a right to spend or not spend as they see fit. And great. If that's what you want to do, fine. I'll be there either way. So, to me, it's not a non-issue.
I also don't want to have this conversation during a midweek series against the Colorado Rockies. Can we wait a little bit longer?
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'll tell you one quick story before we move on, because I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but it's just been a topic of discussion. I met a gentleman probably 3-4 months ago before the season started, and we were talking about Pirates baseball, and he found out what I do. So naturally there's, a ton of questions, and we're just chatting about the Pirates. And I asked him, how many games he goes to. And he said, I haven't gone to a game in a couple of years. He did a self-ban, right? Because he was so upset with what was happening with the state of the team and not spending money and just being disappointed. And I think that speaks for a lot of people too. Like Jim, you're talking about like the past 30 years of, not really putting the best product out on the field. I think that still rings true to a lot of people today. And they'll come out when they're ready to come out to the ballpark. And it might be a little bit slower of a process, but when you build it, they will come. They will, right? It's going to happen. And we've seen PNC Park rocking when the team is good, and it's a great feeling, man. It really is. But right now, not too concerned about it. What I am concerned about is you guys not going to tscshop.com right now and getting your Pirates, Penguins, and Steelers memorabilia. We just gave out a Brian Reynolds signed baseball at the park. That video will be coming soon, and it's all courtesy of Total Sports Enterprises. Make sure you go to tscshop.com. This episode is also brought to you by Sports Card Junction, the best hobby shop in all of the land, 9011 Perry Highway. You can find them at sportscardjunction.com. Baseball, football, basketball, hockey, Pokemon, whatever your heart desires, Sports Card Junction has you covered. Scott, what should we talk about here?
Real quick, I want to talk about the Wednesday game, and not too much because, I think we've covered Tuesday, the dominant outing by Paul Skeens. I want to talk about Wednesday, the 10-4 loss against the Rockies. Things seem to be going smooth, right? The first few innings, Mitch Keller had no hits allowed. I feel like he got BABIP'd a little bit, huh? Like
death by single, dude. And then like you got a couple of hard hits. Mickey Moniak put one in the seats in the right field. But man, that was tough to watch. It was just bloop singles over infielders. Like I was just one after another. It wouldn't stop. So I feel bad for Mitch there, but
It just kind of all transpired from there. It was an unfortunate loss, but what's important, it's hard to sweep a series. I think this is a series they should have swept nonetheless, but I think they kind of made a statement today by coming out strong with the bats. And
yeah, I think today was big because I'll be honest with you, I was prepared to be very cranky if they would have lost today, because I just don't think these types of series, you're at home, you're facing the Rockies, historically an awful team on the road. A lot of people say, well, the Dodgers are 4-6 against the Giants and Rockies this year. Yeah, well, we're not the Dodgers, and we can't.
We're better.
That is, I'll allow you to expand on that further here in a second. But
sure.
The point is like, the Dodgers can go and play good against anybody, whether they're a bad team or a good team. The Pirates don't have that kind of runway. You got to beat the bad teams. You're going to have, and then be 500 against the good teams. That's the goal. So I'm just glad that they came out, they jumped on Dolander today. Sounds like he's got some arm issues, which obviously sucks. But
came out after an inning, right?
Yeah. He was one.
That was the arm I was most concerned about, to be honest with you. Like, I thought we'd hit Lorenzen and Quintana, but Dollander's the guy that has that potential.
Sure. And they jumped on him. So good answer today. I do think, the Phillies are a team that the Pirates are going to have to play some good baseball for what it's Donnie ball game versus Donnie baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Donnie ball. So they're a little bit of a different team right now. And, it's going to be a good test for them, because I still think the Phillies are, I don't know if they're as good as they've been in the past, but they're playing good baseball.
Yeah. The Phillies are littered with nepotism. I'll just put that out there. Let's start talking some crap.
Some nepo babies.
Nepo babies. You got Preston Mattingly as GM. Oh, just a coincidence, right? No, his dad is the coach now. Donnie. No, and also Donnie Baseball is one of the better baseball players, one of the better hitters of the last few decades, and I feel like he's kind of gotten the rough end of the stick in terms of coaching where he's gone. But they've been playing a lot better since he was named manager. He was the bench coach coming into the season after he was with the Blue Jays, and I'm trying to look up a record here, but yeah, in their last 10 games are 7-3. So they're 20-23 right now. I think they're playing right now. And the pitching matchups this week, guys, I don't know if you've seen them yet.
No, I have not.
Exciting.
So
Exciting. We got Nola Ashcraft tomorrow.
Mm.
Then we got Christopher Sanchez and Bubba Chandler on Saturday. Then Sunday, the matinee. We got Zach Wheeler versus Paul Skeens. Talk about what could be a big end to this week. Paul Skeens pitching on Tuesday and Sunday and, shutting the door and winning another series.
Tell you what, that Saturday matchup
Scares you?
Scares me a lot.
That lineup, I'm not prepared. We're not prepared for it mentally. That lineup against Christopher Sanchez.
Sanchez this year, 4-2, 2.11 ERA, 9 games, 55 and a third, 67 Ks.
He literally throws 2 pitches.
Yeah. This has nightmare fuel written all over it. But try and win 2 or 3 here, man. It's going to be good baseball. And I think this is the type of matchups that you're excited for as a Pirates fan, because you're putting yourself to the test here. You expect to go into a Rockies series and win the series. Quite frankly, a lot of people probably expected them to sweep this series. But this is a unique rivalry, right? It's not a division rival, but it's someone that you really want to beat up on. And the crowd's going to be big. Talk about attendance. This is going to be some sold out games. You got firework night on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, some excellent matchups here. I'm excited to be at the ballpark this weekend, boys.
Yeah. And I think too, it's like, this is a series where you've just taken 2 of 3. If you can find a way to get 2 of 3 here against the Phillies, because then things get a little more interesting. They got to go on the road for 3 against the Cardinals, which there's some payback that needs to happen there. Then 3 against the Blue Jays. And I know the Blue Jays are banged up and not the same, and then there's a 4-game series against the Cubs right after that. So you don't want to get, worked here in these games this weekend, because That's what, 7 of the next 10 matchups against the Cards and Cubs. Time to start playing some good baseball and stringing more than like, I don't want to complain, but like, get on a roll and maybe rip off 5 or 6 games if you can.
I totally agree, Jim. I mean, they're within a game and a half of the Cardinals and Brewers right now. I think this is a big week for them, especially going into the series in Toronto, then the Cubs, who have been really hot offensively. But I think tomorrow night is the night to really jump on them. Aaron Nola is a guy that I think he's solid, can eat innings, but the further he's gotten into his career, the more damage that has been done off of him. He's not a guy that's going to blow you away, right? He's going to sit low 90s and he's going to try to carve you up with that curveball. But he's not a guy. Yeah, he's just not a guy that's going to overpower you. And I think this is a guy that this offense, I love that I can say that about this Pirates team, can jump on out of the gate. And then you go up against Sanchez and Wheeler up 1-0. I think tomorrow, I don't want to overemphasize it, but I think tomorrow's game is really important.
And this division is not letting up. Again today, Cards win, Brewers win, Reds put 15 up on the Nationals. Cubs are up 2-0 against the Braves in the 9th. Like it's guys, they're going to have to earn this. It's not like teams are just they're winning.
Yeah. Well, the Reds are frauds.
They are.
They're frauds.
They are.
Yeah.
The goal for this weekend, we're going to have dreams. They're going to have nightmares.
Okay. There you go.
I just got
Hold on, wait a minute.
When you said that. Yeah. Oh, the chills.
Hey guys, this team leads the league with runners in scoring position, 531 this year. And now you're going to get some more opportunities to drive in runs because the 20-year-old Connor Griffin is just really swinging the bat well. And I love his approach right now because the league is trying to get him a little bit jammed up inside, and he doesn't care if he's going to break his bat. He's going to try and focus middle away, and he'll take his singles where he can get them. And he's got 10 bags on the year as well. We're really starting to see him develop and continue to mature. And now at the top of the lineup, Jim, how do you feel about that? Because before, what we were talking about is, hey, I don't mind him in that 7-8 hole because it takes a little bit of pressure off of the kid. But now it's kind of hard to keep him out of the top of the lineup, right?
Yeah, it feels like he's the kind of guy that can impact the game anywhere in the lineup. I mean, because once he gets on, he steals a base, a single scores him. But he just seems to be the kind of guy that like you can keep challenging him, and you can keep putting more on his plate. And, he doesn't even, I say this as a compliment, he doesn't even fully know what he's doing yet at this level. And he's hitting 255. Like, you know what I mean? Like, teams are trying to exploit some of his weaknesses and he still finds a way around it. I think it's a conversation we can have. I'm curious to see how it would certainly lengthen the lineup, too. So, Scott, where are you at? What do you see as the season goes on for him?
I'm looking at Saturday specifically because you got Christopher Sanchez on the mound, and I think at the beginning of the season, and well, even recently, it's Friday night game in San Francisco. Donnie has maybe overmanaged a little bit with his lineups. Christopher Sanchez is a guy, if you're putting that lineup against him, that Friday night lineup in San Francisco, I think you're going to get a complete game one hitter, right? I think you need to challenge these guys. You really do, especially in O'Neill. It's not up or shut up time, right? Like, we're not babying O'Neill anymore. He needs to be playing most games, and you need to play 2 of the 3 of O'Neill, Lau, Horwitz. Well, let's say majority of O'Neill, Lau, Horwitz, and O'Hearn, right? You can't have 3 of those guys on the bench at the same time, especially against the Sanchez. I know guys need their breaks, but you got to schedule the week better then, because this is a big game, and I think that would be an ultimate punt if those guys are sitting. So yeah, Jim, I think you got to keep challenging him. You got to keep challenging him.
I like what they did against Quintana with Lau, move him down in the order, right?
Yeah.
Like it might not be successful. He might struggle against lefties, but just move him down in the order a little bit. You still need that pop in the lineup. You still need the ability to have one swing change the game at any moment, and he's your best chance to do that. Or guys like Ryan O'Hearn are your best chance to do that. Spencer Horwitz has been awesome lately. I mean, he's just been putting up quality at bat after quality at bat, and he's been able to drive the ball to all fields. So I agree with you, Scott. You got to put out your A lineup on most days. You can't get getaway lineups. You can't play the matchups. You kind of have to have more of the feel for the game of, hey, these are our best guys, and that's who we're going to trot out there. And that includes Nicky G as well, by the way.
Sometimes you can get a little too cute. Sometimes I think with lineups and being slaves to the lefty on lefty matchups. I will say I was curious to do this because with Connor, I was wondering, what are his splits like so far? Man, against lefties, 286 batting average, 344 on base percentage, 429 slugging, 772 OPS. I think anytime you see a lefty on the mound, I would bump him up right now up to near the top of the order when they're facing lefties. And then as it goes, maybe he can permanently stay there. But to me, Lau is somebody that instead of giving him that seat on the bench versus a lefty, I'd keep him in the lineup, drop him to like 7. He's still going to give you a good at bat. I think he's got a couple home runs off lefties.
He definitely does. And that's the key there, Jim. He's going to give you professional at bats.
Yeah.
You can't replace him. When they did that in the National Series, after he hit a home run on the lefty, I think that game or the game before, you roll with the vet. You roll with the guy who's been there, done that, who has also got the hot hand. You don't get too cute with it. So I totally agree there. I want to talk about Endy Rodriguez real quick. Maybe too soon. One game too soon, right? But let's overreact, man. First of all, I just want to say about Endy, very easy to root for. Very easy to root for. This kid he loves baseball. He's so the energy he brings to that clubhouse, just very easy to root for. Love Endy, and I hope he sticks. Joey Bart is on the IL with a left foot infection, right? I don't know how long that's going to last. It could last a little bit. I don't know the severity of it, but Endy had a good game today, right? He comes in and goes 2 for 3 with a double, 2 RBIs. And the upside there offensively is what intrigued me. It's what I thought he should have made this opening day roster, right? I didn't think they would come north with, I hope they didn't come north with the same catching staff that they had last year. Just to mix it up a little bit, have that offensive upside with one side of the platoon. You even hear Carmen Wojcinski in the postgame today, like just praise him up and down. Like this guy is, you root for him. He works so hard, and he was once like the top guy in the system, and he's kind of been swept under the rug. So what do you guys think about Endy and the role that he could potentially play down the road here for this team?
Yeah. I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but I don't think I've seen
1.750 OPS, by the way. Go crazy. Go crazy.
Here we go. Let me cook. I don't think I've seen Henry Davis or Joey Bart put together an at bat this year that Endy Rodriguez did today. He had a double, a single, both scored runs, and then a walk. That's maybe the most, outside of Hank's 2 home run game, it's like the most productive game we've had from a catcher in a long time, in like a long, long time. And I think defensively, he's fine. He's better than Joey Bart behind the plate. I'll tell you that. And yeah, you're going to keep Hank here to catch Skeens, and you still need him to command the dish a little bit. But talk about no breaks in a lineup, guys, and more flexibility with the switch hitting. This is a game changer. You talk about some other holes in the lineup and positional flexibility. but you've kind of just been punting the 9-hole in the lineup for the most part this season with the catching position. Like, they really haven't produced at all. I know He's been able to draw some walks here and there, but if Endy could put together just at bats, even if we're not getting the same results, but just put up the kind of at bats that he had today, especially with runners in scoring position, and just work counts and be able to get barrel to ball and drive it to all parts of the field. That makes this team so much better, like significantly better, and than any other addition could be right now, because we've talked about it before about adding at the deadline and how do you do that, because you're trying to get better defensively. Historically speaking, you're usually trying to add better bats. This makes you better as a ball club, and talk about the clubhouse god and how easy he is to root for. Like, you saw him getting emotional after the game. Like, this is a kid who's just had elbow injuries, and then he had stitches on his hand, and he just can't catch a break, and he's only 25 years old. He's still young. So yeah, they've wrote him off a little bit, but I'm hoping he didn't write back.
Yeah, and this is a good opportunity for him. Like, all he can do is come up and, be aggressive, try to make things happen while he's here. I don't know how long the Bart thing is going to last. I'm not sure if they do right now, but yeah, Endy is somebody that any offense, the catcher position adds to what is a very balanced lineup is such a bonus. And Henry is, I don't know if Henry's ever gonna figure it out at this point, guys, offensively.
I don't think so. I think I'm past that.
I want to point something out here. Average best pop time on the majors, Endy Rodriguez 186. Henry Davis's 188.
Really?
Pretty good duo.
That is.
So
we're gonna be at the park all weekend, guys. All weekend. I know Scott and I will be there Friday through Sunday. Sunday, let's go in reverse order. We have our show at Brave Bean Coffee, around 11 a.m. We'll announce that. All three of us will be there talking Buccos. One of us might need to work the camera and just talk behind the scenes, because our producer, cameraman, loved one, Mr. Adam Debo, is going to be on vacation. I don't know if we'll be back for that one. We'll see. And then Saturday, we'll be there all day. We got a fun interview lined up, so we'll announce that after it happens, and then we'll be on the field doing interviews as well. And Friday night, we'll be doing some giveaways. I got a lot of baseballs here, and Scott, I don't know, give me pitcher, catcher, infielder, outfielder. Go right now. Just give me a position group, not a player. Position group. Go.
Infielder.
Okay. We'll be giving away an autograph from an infielder this weekend.
I know it is.
Who is it? I don't know. It's a mystery box.
Pokey Reese.
Yeah, it's a Pokey Reese. Spoiler.
It's a mystery box.
It's a mystery box. So Total Sports Enterprises will give us a bunch of boxes with baseballs in them, and they're all signed. We don't know who it's from. I know. Well, I do. I know who they're from, and Scott does. And I'll tell you, Jim, but not on camera. Nobody else knows where they're from.
We'll keep it on the down low.
I'll tell you what, they're all really, really good.
Is that what the kids say these days?
Keep it on the DL. Keep it on the DL. So we got that. We got some cards to give away, and then maybe some other fun things planned this weekend. We'll be there for fireworks night. Come by, say hi to us at the ballpark. We talk about building a community and being there all the time, and you get to know people around the park. And it's funny, my girlfriend at the beginning of the year, she's a baseball fan. She played softball, but she hasn't really gone to a lot of Pirates games in her lifetime. And she genuinely asked, how do I get more involved and meet people in the Pirates community? I said, just go to games, and you just see the same people over and over again. Yeah. And you meet the coolest people. I'm telling you, man, the more you walk around the park, the more you're there, you make friends, you recognize people. It doesn't even matter if you know their names. You just see them. You get to know the ushers. You get to know the people working the beer stands and the concessions. It's a really good time. And I'm proud of the community that not only that we've built, but that we've got to meet other communities and little, microcosms that are around the park. It really is a fun time, and you know where to find everybody on a given day. So show up to the park, have a good time, go into the Bucko Banter Discord, get a ballpark pass, show up, man, and just watch some baseball or not watch some baseball. Walk around, enjoy the nice weather this weekend. Jim, I know you'll be there.
Yeah, family will be in tow, and we are looking forward to it. And to further your point on all this, is it's just fun to like go to the game. If you see old friends that you know, people pop in that travel from out of town that you don't get to see very often. You get to catch up with them at games. You meet new people. Good baseball conversations. That's what I love, is because I think outside of like the Pirates bubble that we live in, it's hard to find good baseball conversations in your general regular life. And then you get to go to Pirate games, you're like, holy cow, there are some people that are very like they're not on camera and they don't do this stuff like we do, but they're very knowledgeable. And it's just cool to be able to talk that kind of in-depth Pirates baseball talk, because I certainly don't get it enough outside of this.
Yeah.
Love it.
Good stuff. I'm going to go through my spiel here. Make sure you subscribe, like, leave a comment, tell a friend to tell a friend. Get those YouTube numbers up, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you follow on all social media. If you scan this QR code right below my beautiful face, it'll bring you to the Bucko Banter Discord, where you can find people at the ballpark, ask somebody for a ballpark pass, talk about the game, show your favorite baseball cards, and much, much more. We are going to Toronto next weekend, and we will have a live show at the Doc Ellis bar. And you might think, oh, he's just making that name up. It might be something that has Doc Ellis stuff there. No, it's called the Doc Ellis, and we are having a show there. I believe doors open at 6:30. We're going to do a Bucko Banter post-game show, and then we're also going to do a live Sax cast as well. So watch the game. It's walking distance from the bar. Come over, hang out with us. I'm sure we'll be there most of the night, throwing them back, talking ball, having a good time. And I think that's it. I think we're pretty caught up. Go to buckobanter.com, put your email in, and then go to your email opt-in, and then you'll get all the pitching breakdowns throughout the week. Scott, you get any closing remarks here?
You know what? I don't. I'm excited to get back to the ballpark this weekend against the Phillies. Like, I want to second what you said about the community. It's been awesome. Also, just people coming up, introducing themselves, saying they listen to the show. I always appreciate it. That's my favorite part about going to the ballpark. So come say hi. We'll see you out there this weekend, and let's go sweep those dirty Phillies from across the state.
And there's those rowdy fans that always make their way into PNC Park. Boy, I like to shut Philly fans up any chance I get.
First person that brings a poop game sign to us wins a prize. I don't know what that prize is going to be, but bring out your poop game signs. This is history, right? I'm genuinely upset they took away that score graphic a couple of years ago. I mean, I thought we used to be a proper country, and they're doing this to us.
We're going to be serving Bucko Banter. I want to make an announcement. Is going to be serving cheesesteak with tiers. So come get yours after the Sunday sweep. We'll see you guys there.
Until next time, hoist it.
Hoist it.
Hoist it.
Best seats at the Pirates game, they let me run the base. Yeah, my time is like my money, cause I can't afford to waste. Wifey is a lawyer, take my date to my dates, or the steak by the plates. And